to you with another running tip video and a fun super session that you can get out and have a go at later on. So first up today, what I'm going to talk about is it's coming into the cooler weather. So that makes it a little bit harder to get out and run because the weather isn't as good. It's not as warm as we have had in the beautiful summer and autumn weather that we've been having lately. So a couple of things here, a few little tips that we can learn about to make it a bit easier to get you out, get you going, so that we can keep on running through winter. It is really great to get out and keep on running throughout these times. There are some beautiful, crisp winter mornings that I've enjoyed getting out there and doing this. So making sure that we do have a little bit of extra gear to make those mornings a little bit easier on us. So firstly, what we want to focus on is what we've got. So shoes is the most important thing. If that's the only thing that we're going to think about, then that's really important, and probably going with that is some socks as well. So we don't want to have too thinner socks coming into winter, not too thick either, because it can affect your shoe fit. So just making sure that you do have some nice socks that you can wear, that's going to help us get out there. So everything else is a bit of a bonus. It will make it a little bit easier, but certainly the only thing that you really need is some good shoes and socks to get going with our running. So coming into winter, the most important thing is layers, alrighty? So making sure we've got some tights, but when we're going out, we want to have layers, because what's going to happen is it's going to feel really cold to start off with, but then as we warm up, we're going to get nice and warm, and we're going to want to start taking some clothes off. So you certainly don't need parkas or those types of things, big jackets, because they're going to be way too hot for you. What you want to do is probably just have a singlet, a long sleeve shirt, and then as it does get a little bit cooler, maybe a vest or something like that. But it's great if you can be able to take these things off, tie them around your waist. That's what I normally do when I get a bit warm. Or when you're warming up, go for a 5 to 10 minute jog, loop back to your house and drop it off so then you can keep on going back. So there's a couple of things, but layers is definitely the most important thing. Something you can tie around your waist is really handy. Because the last thing you want is to be out on a run and feeling really hot and uncomfortable and you don't want to be moving, okay? So making sure that we've got those options, we've got those layers that we can take on, put back on again, so that we can be nice and comfortable when we are running. Other thing I find is really important is some gloves, okay? So your hands are going to get cold in winter, and these are just some Aldi ones. You can grab them from a lot of different places, but basically just some sort of gloves that you can pop on that's going to keep your hands nice and warm, okay? So those extremities are what we're going to focus on. Other thing is our ears. Sometimes they can be get a little bit cold as well, so I find a headband is what works. I do often wear a visor as well, so having a headband and a visor or something like that. You probably want to steer clear of beanies and those types of things that cover up the top of your head, because that's where most of our heat escapes. So a beanie, you'll probably get too hot running around here where we are. If you do live down in Canberra or somewhere like that where it does get a little bit cooler, maybe that's something that you'll need to invest in. But certainly around here where we are, we probably don't need that, and just a headband covering those ears is what would be a little bit of a better option for you, depending on how cold it does get in your climate. Getting a little bit darker, there are lots of things out there, some head torches that do make it a bit easier, so you can look into those types of things as well. Just plan your route where there is a little bit of lighting so that it is a bit safer, so just thinking where the lights are going to be on, and make sure that you are going and running there so that you can be seen and you can see the terrain that you're running on as well. Okay, from there there's a couple of other things. I do use some headphones. Sometimes it depends on how I'm feeling. Not essential obviously for winter, but this is just some that I do use. These are ones that you can just clip around and they stay in place, they stay in my ears. So if that's something that you want to look at, listening to podcasts or music, headphones are really great to keep you motivated, to keep you moving. A couple of other things I do use. This is a spy belt. You just simply clip it around onto your waist, and what it does is you can fit your phone in there. I also have a little drink bottle, pretty handy at the moment if you don't want to be utilizing the bubblers, that I just clip onto my spy belt and it doesn't bounce. There's no bounce here. Even when I've got my phone in here, I've put a few extra things in there and there's really no bounce with those spy belts. There are a couple of things on the market, so you can certainly look into that. Heaps of stuff on any of those forums, so just check out any of those types of things if you do want to take your phone with you. They're really handy. There's a whole lot of other drink bottles as well that you can use. This one's quite tiny, so it won't get you too far. This one's a little bit bigger. It's just a handheld one. You can get a little pouch that it does sit onto on your hand, so you don't need to hold onto it. And this one is just a fill up, and when you're done with it, it just collapses down. Okay, so you can then shove that into your pocket or something once you've done with it. So they're pretty handy as well if you are going to be running a little bit further. Last thing is a couple of creams that I've got here. Coming into the cooler weather, chapstick is always good, some sort of something for your lips so that they're not drying out and getting too sore. This one's probably more for summer weather, when we're sweating a lot. Body Glide, really, really helpful thing to stop any of the chafing or any rubbing. So between your legs, under your arms, wherever you're chafing, this is great. You just pop it on. I've used this for marathons and all sorts of things, and I haven't had any sort of chafing. So this is available at a number of different stores and on the internet, so just check that out if that is a problem that you've had. So a few things there, some stuff that we can think about coming into winter, some other things that you might want to consider if you are going out and doing a little bit more running. So they're just a couple of tips. Obviously, as I said, the only thing you really need is a good pair of shoes and socks. They're the best things to start with, and all the rest is bonus type of things. Okay, so hopefully that's helped. Now I'm going to talk you through the session that we're going to get through this week. So what this is about is a bit of an interval session, changing our pace around. So playing with those paces, getting to know what's easy, what's a medium, what's a hard pace for you, and really working at those different paces so that we can recruit different muscle fibers, use our muscles in slightly different ways, and get really good at being able to control ourselves through those different paces. So as always, make sure you've done a really nice warm up beforehand. So 5 to 10 minutes is what we're looking at there, remembering those key principles, slow to fast, increasing intensity, and simple to complex as well. Okay, so just making sure we've got that nice warm up in and we're done that before we do get stuck into our session. So what this one is going to look like is we're going to do a number of repeats, anywhere between 3 to 5, and we're going to be working on 3 different paces here. So the first one is our easy pace. I want you to do that for about 2 minutes of our easy pace. Then we come into our medium pace. We want to do that for 1 minute. So we're going half the time here, and then we're going to run hard for 30 seconds. Okay, so that's going to be 4.5 minutes of work, and then we're going to recover after that. Okay, so 2 minutes easy pace, 1 minute at a medium pace, and 30 seconds of our hard pace. Then we're going to rest and recover and do that over again. So a few little guidelines here. Easy pace is where you can hold a conversation. If you were running with someone else, if you do this session with someone else, you can have a proper conversation with them. Okay, we can talk properly. You could talk all day if you had to, okay, whilst we're running. So nice and easy, nice and slow and controlled here. Our medium pace, we're going a little bit faster, but we're still able to answer some questions, okay? We might be talking in 2 to 3 words, so we are not as easy as it was before, but we still be able to, if someone asks you a question, you'll be able to get 2 to 3 words out here with our medium pace. Then our hard pace that we're going to be doing for 30 seconds, it might be that you don't want to talk at all. Okay, if someone asked you a question, you might be able to say 1 word to them, but you really wouldn't want to. Okay, you don't want to be talking to people here, but at the same time, we're not going all out. We're not sprinting here. Okay, we're looking at sort of that 85%. So 2 minutes of that easy conversational pace, then into 1 minute of our medium pace, where we can do 2 to 3 questions, 2 to 3 words, and then 30 seconds of that hard, where we really don't want to be talking to anyone. Rest and recover for about 1 minute to 2, and then get stuck back into it and do that 3 to 5 times, okay? And that should be a nice workout for you, using those different muscles, controlling those paces throughout, and learning how to know those paces, because it's really important that we know what our easy pace is, because once a week we should be doing those long, slow duration runs where we should be able to hold a conversation for those. So knowing what that easy pace feels like and that medium and hard pace is really important if we do go out and do those longer runs as well. Okay guys, hope you enjoy this session. Make sure that you do a cool down and a stretch as well for a good 5 minutes at the end of the session. Let us know how you go with it. Hope you enjoy it. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Bye.